Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Social Marketing Show with your host, Pat Hilton. We are live all over the globe. It's going down, and as I predicted many months ago, podcasting is taking over. Content taking over. Man, that beat goes deep. Hope you're having a great morning. Tactical Tuesday. Come on now. So we've got this set up now, and nothing needs to be touched. We've got the podcast set up now. Nothing needs to be touched. And I've got a DJI mobile system that I take with me to events now. That is a portable recording system for anyone, really. So if you're at an event, I can record all your stuff, and they're literally like this big. So now we've got 3 different stations that we can use to film stuff. And the cool thing is this, that now I can come in and out of the studio and I don't have to move anything. It's all ready to go. And I want you guys to think about this when it comes to your brand moving into 2025. I've noticed a lot of people moving over to X after the election. X is going to become a hotbed for advertising, for podcasting, for long-form streaming. And the cool thing about long-form streaming is that you can chop it up, and then you've got those video clips that you need every day that I've been telling you guys for 10 years that you need to be posting. So if it's easier for you to have a conversation with somebody or do a podcast format recording once or twice or 3 times or 20 times a week, then you're going to have plenty of content to repurpose for all of your social media pages. And so this is a great solution for people that don't like to film, don't like to set up gear. Your best bet is having conversations with people, chopping it up and getting it out on social media. And we knew there was going to be a boom with this, but man, is there a boom or what? These lights are freaking hot. Watch this. Tone this to the yellow so it's softer. See how much softer that is? I sit around and play with all this stuff. I learned all this because I knew we were all going to need it. You need it too. I'm here for you. You need it too. See, now I'm glowing more. See how that works? You guys got to have this stuff in your brand. You got to be putting stuff out there. I just got back from an event in Vegas, and 2 years ago, I did an event for the same guy in Vegas. And 2 years later, this thing's gone from 40 people to 300. And it's just a testament to him being consistent on social media, continuing to do calls with his community, build X, Y, and Z, get people tons of huge results. And that's the game. And so when you plug into build your brand or build your business or whatever it is that you want to do, you have to understand that when you plug in to do that, you can't possibly expect to just be awesome the second that you plug in. You got to get good. You got to get recognition, get attention. And the best way to do that is by just getting results. If you have results already, then you just show up with the receipts. We're booking 2025 gigs, and it's like, listen, here's the receipts. Get yourself out there. If you're an author type, publish a book. If you're a speaker type, do a podcast. But you also, one of the deciding factors that people are going to be using over the next few years, and they're already doing it, is they're going to go to your social media page and see how you communicate with a live audience or how you communicate with the camera or how you're able to tell your story and how that story relates to them being successful. Because at the end of the day, people do business with people they know, not necessarily do business with the best person in a category. There's tons of people that do a ton of business that aren't great speakers, or there's a tons of people that are great speakers that need way more business. You got to figure out how to do multiple things at once and be great at multiple things at once. And one of them is your communication. Dude, if your communication is on point and people can find you and feel you, hear you, see you, come on, man. That's the game. And so I encourage everybody out there to just get over the fear that you potentially have of getting on camera and start doing it, because in every negotiation that you're in life, you're going to have to use the same tactics that you use when you hit record and get on a camera. Every single negotiation in life is just like talking to the camera. And so if you can talk to the camera when no one's around and be really, really confident doing it and get really smooth and get really dialed in and really laser focused, then when you have to go up and you have to present and there's 20 different people, who's going to be the best person? The person that put the most work in, the person that put the most reps in. So it's like if you want to be a speaker, a consultant, or someone that people follow online and that you get more revenue, well, then you've got to put the reps in to get that reputation. You have to do the work. We were talking this morning because I just had my kid's birthday party, and so I dressed up as Bruno from Encanto. So I was Bruno. But in the real world, in business or in life, in any category, someone can't just dress up as you and do the work and get you the result. You have to do it. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm a way better speaker than this guy, or I make way more money than that guy, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, okay. Well, if nobody knows about that, how can they possibly believe you? I know that because I'm your friend, or I'm this person, or I'm that person, or I see you around, maybe. But like, how would anyone know that outside of the people that you're around if you don't publish it? Done $100 million in deals. Okay, well, no one knows that but me, because I'm the only person you told, because you never post anything on social media. How would anyone know? So I encourage you guys, doesn't matter what level you're at. I meet people all the time. They've done $100 million exits. And they're like, man, I still need to be posting on Instagram. Yeah, you're right. We understand. It's a ton of work. And that's why we do what we do, because we know this is where it's all going. This is where trust is built. And we just saw it. It's just, that's the game. We just saw it happen with social media influencers battling going into November 5th, 2024. And look at what happened. So I encourage you all to look at the writing on the wall and be like, oh man, this is how people are communicating now. And your best bet for success is to put out a great message that people can align with. And the best way to do that is to get on camera and actually get good at talking to your target audience. My target audience used to be people that want to drink alcohol and hear me sing cover songs. That was my target audience, so that's what I got. These days, it's a little different. But I'm still putting on the same amount of work to display the talent, because that's what it takes. Now, I know a lot of people, they negotiate deals, they do big deals. They don't have any desire to post anything on social media. That's fine. But there's a lot of other people that do. They do want to speak. They do want to do consulting. They do want to have events. They do want to be a part of masterminds. And the best way for you to shine in those environments is for people to already know who you are before you show up. What if everybody knew who you were before you stepped into the room to walk up on the stage? And they already knew who you were. I think that's where I've won over the last few years, is I'm building relationships with people that bring me back. And that was always my game. Even when I was a bar singer, I'm like, why don't I just play every Tuesday? And then I'll play at this place. Why don't I play every Thursday? And then it was like a job, but at least I wasn't working all day at some place. I was making more money to do that for 3 or 4 hours than I was working an 8-hour day. And everybody's going to have to go through these phases. Everybody. unless you learn how to acquire cash flowing businesses. And I'm gonna get way more serious about talking about that topic over the next couple of years, because I know there's an opportunity for me there as a marketer and as a consultant, and that is cash flowing businesses that are owned by baby boomers that are looking to retire. And that is going to become a huge target client avatar for me as a marketer and me as someone who's a part of a ton of acquisition communities, because all I have to do is attract those deals to the table and have those conversations, and I can put the people in the right place. I know lots of people. And here's something I learned. I was still coming up in the game from Tim Bratz. I don't know if Tim Bratz originally said it, but Tim Bratz said it when I heard it. And that was that, hey, man, do you want the juice from an entire grape or a huge piece of a watermelon? Do you want the juice of one grape or a piece of a watermelon? You're going to get way more juice if you're a piece of a huge deal than you are a tiny little grape trying to get, oh, man, I want to get everything for myself. Well, that's why you got that tiny grape, bro. The reason why you got that tiny grape in life is because you're not trying to break off a big, huge piece of watermelon for somebody else. I mean, when you were, I'm going to tell you all something. If you've ever lived in your car chasing your dream, you know after a while that the best way for you to win is to work with other people. Because if you're by yourself, well, this is the results that you're getting by yourself. You better find some people to work with. Because right now all you got is you and the man upstairs. Maybe a couple fans on the FB. But I'm telling you, when you start to work with other people to make huge things happen, and you figure out how you can insert your skills into a machine that's really big, that's when you're going to get the most juice. Because if you can help other people get a big, huge glass of juice, your glass gets bigger, not smaller. Not smaller. Why do you think Drake is always on everybody's tracks? Drake is on everybody's tracks because it gets him out with all these people, gets him more attention and more visibility. And if he puts a great verse out on somebody's track that gets popped, well, dude, Drake gets a ton of recognition, and he brings a ton of recognition and a bunch of credibility to every track he's on because of that. You guys got to think about, how are these big people marketing themselves to get a piece of the pie? There's a huge pie out there. We can all have plenty of pie. You can only really eat so much pie anyway. You get sick to your stomach. So think about that this week. How are you getting tactical about your strategy on the internet and how it involves other people? Because we are really going hard on the podcast, and we've got all these podcast rooms set up now. They're ready to go. You could stand here right now and broadcast. I mean, you'd probably want to sit over there because this is my little setup, but still. You got to do it. You got to learn the skills. You want to be on stage and attract the big deals and do all of those things. You got to ask for it, learn how to communicate for it. So, that's too much. Hold on. There it is. I never made it as a DJ. Have a great day. Tactical Tuesday. Make something happen. Get out there and do the work. Be awesome and great. Because you deserve it. And the people around you deserve it. Just go out and swerve it.